TitleMatchNetwork.com.
I have a question for the American Dream. What's your views on Vince McMahon?
I think he's I think he's about 6'3". But he revolutionized the way we look at TV. I'm not saying wrestling so much, but the way we look at wrestling on television. He's the only game in town. And good, bad, or indifferent, that's what we got. And I'm enjoying what I'm doing with him right now. It's really cool.
Next, Nate? Josh. Question goes really to anybody on the panel. I grew up watching wrestling in the 80s and the early 90s, and it wasn't until like the mid-90s that I stopped watching. I thought focused too much, on what was going on outside the ring rather than inside the ring, which is what I enjoyed when I was a kid. And I was wondering, since you were the guys that I watched growing up, what your view was on wrestling today. Do you think it's taking a turn for the worse, a turn for the better? It's become too commercialized, and it's not relying on, granted these guys are in great shape and do phenomenal things in the ring, but it's not quite the same feel. I was wondering what anybody's take was on that.
I think the athletes are in better shape today because they got more time to go train and work out. But back when I started in the mid-'60s, everybody drove every place. Thank you. This was a soda fountain. So everybody drove every place and they didn't too loud. No. And the degree of wrestling has changed. I like the 60s. I like stuff like that. But don't forget, in the 50s, things changed from the 40s. It's a different business now. It's a different game. It's just different. And there's so many things you can say. But they have an audience, and they do business, and it works. So that's okay.
Anybody else? Young man, what's your name?
Nana.
We're going to build until 4.
Anybody else? Right here, this young lady over here. What's your name?
Lisa, I want to ask to all the legends, do you think that you guys maybe will come back to WWE either to wrestle or just to be backstage, doing some backstage? And for you guys that were at WWE Homecoming, what do you think of it?
I'll come back if they pay me. No, really, they make the right offer, I'll do anything. I'll work car washes, buy mitzvahs, whatever you want to do. Yeah, make an offer, I might do it. But right now, I have no desire to. I just like what I'm doing, being retired, and not remember what day it is. That's fun.
It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Here, Josh, you need this.
I don't know. No, it was cool. It was a lot of fun, and these guys here, we're all part of it, and it's really cool deal to go back and be with people that you actually competed against and went down the road with and shared a tremendous bond and relationship there. We almost have a fraternity now in this situation. To be able to talk to Harley, outside of the ring is really cool instead of getting my ass kicked every time.
Okay, I'm done. Continue.
He has his own entrance music.
As far as me, I don't have any desire to go back to the WWE. We all sacrificed our lives. We spent a lot of time on the road. In a lot of cases, it caused problems at home. I was very lucky that I got out at a young age when my kids were young, and the results were pretty good for me. But I know a lot of wrestlers that sacrificed a lot of their prime lives and weren't able to watch their kids grow up. I'm a teacher now, so I can't leave. I really enjoy the profession. It was great for me. It was great for all of us when we were doing it. But the sacrifice is way too much.
What was the question?
Would you come back to the WWE on camera or behind?
Never. No way. No, not a chance. I do a lot of hunting and fishing. I'm a country guy. Like to plant my gardens now and play with my grandchildren. And the only reason I'm here is because I do like to come and see, my friends up here, Harley and Bobby and these guys. It's a brotherhood. We were with each other more than we were with our wives. And, it's like I said, these are my beloved brothers, and I miss them. And like I said, that's a lot of reason why I do it. But in all honesty, if something were to come up, me helping with the kids and training, I know for a fact that I know how to train kids, and I see talent. I know how to give it out. And I think that's probably one of my gifts. And but when you have teachers here like Harley Race and Dusty, and they were my teachers. And y'all that asked Roland how much is well, it's not that. No, but you know what I'm saying. That's who we learned from, man. And these guys taught us, and I mean that truly. That's why in the 80s and the early 90s that wrestling just bam took off. It was nuts. It's because when you have tutors like these guys here and how they taught us, and it was an honor, and I thank them. Thank you fans very much.
Let me tell you the funny thing is, you see us all sitting up here, and there's some guys up here that aren't here right now, but you remember the names. You wonder in 5-10 years if anybody's going to remember the names of people they saw on TV today. It's weird. I don't know why, but they seem to remember us more than anything. People always ask me about Dusty. Always ask me about Harley Race, Terry Funk, Orndorff. Nobody's ever asked me about anybody on the WWF or WWE. And they have a great audience, but it's just they ask. Maybe it's because I grew up in this era, but they always ask me about these people. And they always will.
I still have to run a little group, and it's called WLW. And the motto of WLW is shut up and wrestle. And I think that sooner or later they're going to have to come back to the concept of wrestling is spelled with a W, not with an R. And eventually they'll start putting a little bit more of that content back into it. Hopefully they will.
Hi. First, I'd like to apologize to everyone up here for being a little late. Sorry about that. I'm disrespectful. I was just recently released from the WWE due to the fact that I have a little one. And I'm just really happy that I had my opportunity there, and I worked very hard to get there, and I was very blessed, and I was lucky. Would I go back there? I've always learned never say never, but at this point right now, no. After the baby's born, I'll possibly entertain going to a lesser schedule somewhere else, pursuing other things. I love this business. I've always loved it. I never got into it for any other reason than because I love being there and entertaining you guys, and really just feeling good about what I accomplished when I came out of that ring. I never loved who I was in that ring. I loved what I did in that ring. And I really think that made a difference between who lasted and who didn't. So I hope I can continue to entertain, but if I choose to be a mom, I'm really happy and excited about that adventure also.
Would I go back to the WWE? I kind of doubt it. I know I would go back. Well, first of all, Vince wouldn't invite me back because I'm one of the few that used to fight with him constantly all the time. And the reason was because I was sick of being lied to and taken advantage of. So it was easy for me to leave, and it's even easier not to go back. I control my own destiny. I don't have to put up with somebody like him. So no, I would never go back.
Well, I've wrestled for some real rinky-dink organizations in the alleyway in Cleveland and back of some bar. You're darn right I'd go back to the WWE. Because it is wrestling. I don't think it's as great as it was in the 80s, and wrestling's heyday was 70s and 80s, and that's why everybody remembers everybody from the 80s and the 70s, because that was wrestling's heyday. That's when that was Vince's heyday. That's when the ratings were 2.0. They were fabulous, and so everybody knows everybody from that era. And that's the reason they don't know everybody from this era, because the ratings are way, way down. But yeah, I would go back. I still wrestle today, and I would love to train the guys. And I love the business. It's my passion. I don't have a hobby. Rather than taking a boat out and act like I'm fishing, but I never catch fish. I never had a hobby. Wrestling, I guess, was, it was my livelihood. It was my entire life. Really had a passion for it. My father, Johnny Valentine, was the same way. I asked my dad one time, I says, what do you really, really, really like in life besides wrestling? And he said, nothing. He just liked to wrestle. So, thank you.